There are two classes of people in Gaul. The one class is the common people, who are treated like slaves in the public domain. These people are ruled over by the other classes, just like how masters rule over their slaves. Let's get a glimpse into what life is like for the common people in Gaul. It is grueling.
If only I could pay off my debt to society and be treated with some respect. If only I didn't have to pay tribute. Then we would not have to be slaves.
I wish we could actually get some representation in government and have some rights.
Hey Demnorix, what are you doing here talking to other commoners? You should be working in the fields. If I see you wandering again, you will be punished. Go back now.
Go ahead.
The common people are uneducated and struggle financially. However, there is another class of people in Gaul called the Druids, who belong to a higher and more educated society. The Druids are devoted to religion and perform sacrifices in both the public and private sector to express their fervor. These are human sacrifices called for by the mentally ill and those who go to war, as they believe the idea of a life for a life. Those being sacrificed are criminals or the marginalized members of society. These are the first victims, are those calling for the sacrifice believe that the gods would prefer to see the death of guilty men rather than innocent men. However, if they must, the people kill innocent men. The Druids then construct a wicker man, which is essentially woven twigs in the form of a large man. This man is then filled with those beings sacrificed, and the man is set on fire. Let us observe the Druids as they prepare to perform a sacrifice. Hello, Druid.
Hello, friend. How can I help you?
I'm going off to war and I need to preserve my life. I have a wife and children that I need to come home to, and I need to make sure I survive in battle. Will you be doing a sacrifice soon? I understand that Druids preside over the sacrifices.
Yes, soldier. Me and my fellow Druids are making a wicker man. Would you be able to help us by gathering some twigs?
Yes, my tribute. I will collect twigs for you. Thank you, Druid.
You can leave your friend with me. We'll do the sacrifice later today.
Go.
The Druids are also the primary teachers of society of young men. The Druids are the most honorable men and are widely respected by all the Gauls. The Druids are like wise old men of society. They decide the verdict of all private and public conflicts. They determine if a crime was committed, and in the case of a murder, if a murder was committed. Let us see the role of a Druid in society. This Druid will determine the verdict of two conflicts.
I'm joking. Your troops marched through my land, and in doing so, killed and raped my people.
What? No, they didn't.
I have the proof.
We did nothing of the sort.
Friend,
My
not even. Let us
What?
solve this in a civil manner.
Okay, but he's accusing me that my troop
Not
went through
accusing.
his property.
It's true.
All right,
It's not true.
let's discuss the details of what actually happened.
Yes, let's. Her troops left my territory covered in the blood of my innocent people.
False. So, my troops have to get to a country that's across from his country. So,
And they just stomped on mine in doing so.
No, so they may have gone around his property, but they didn't.
No, not around.
They didn't kill or
All right,
rape.
all right. This is the decision. He's right.
All right, fine.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cassie died.
You're a murderer.
The Druids also decide what rewards and punishments the people will receive, and their repercussions if people do not follow these regulations as set by the Druids. If an individual does not follow the regulations as set by the Druids, they are banned from the sacrifice. The penalty is most grave. Without the sacrifice, the individual no longer has the ability to preserve his life.
The individual is also regarded as a derelict and a menace to society. No one wants to associate with those that do not follow the rules of the Druids, as others fear that communication is perilous. The individual no longer receives justice in the courts.
There is a head druid. The druid who is in charge of all the other druids is superior to all the others. When this druid dies, his successor takes his place. If there is an obvious choice, or if there are multiple druids of equal rank and position among the others, then there is a vote. The druids then must vote on who will become the next head druid.
Oh
my
no!
gosh, well,
Who's gonna be the next head druid?
Oh, well, obviously it's gonna be me.
Excuse me. I'm the one who just asked who it's gonna be, so clearly since I thought of it first, it's my position.
No, because I have been, really the new leader.
We should ask
It's
her.
Working out. Well, she's dead, so.
Yeah, but we all know she would say that it would be me.
Alright, you know what? Fine.
You're a
We'll-
woman.
We'll just put it to a vote, and then we'll figure it out. So
Okay, so we'll get all the other druids involved and see
Yeah.
who they think is best.
Yeah.
The druids are pacifists in nature and are exempt from war taxes. Druids also do not have to serve in the military. Many young Gauls are intrigued by these great privileges and try to become druids. The druids also postulated about nature, the heavens, the gods, and the planets. Their students share their inquisitive and love of learning. Let's observe a druid teaching younger druids now.
Men are also encouraged and forced into training for life as a druid by their parents or relatives who want their children or loved ones to live the life of a druid. Since the education to become a druid involves a great deal of memorization, those studying to become a druid could be in school for 20 years. Most druids do not write. However, when they do, they use Greek letters so that their work and known truths are not easily adopted by the commoners, and so that those who want to become a druid learn by memory, not by rote memorization.
Thank you for joining us today on this segment concerning life in Gaul, where we trace the lifestyle of druids. Join us again for an inside scoop in the life of Britain.